is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are Florida.
Center, deep, and gone! Miami leads it 2-1. Ozuna, a blast off the camera well. My goodness. In Phoenix this afternoon, All-Star Week continues on Fox Sports Florida. And this series concludes at Chase Field, the Marlins and the Diamondbacks. And for the Diamondbacks and the Marlins, how about a little taste of the glove? Smell the glove. Marlin fans here in Phoenix. Marcell Ozuna down to his last strike. Big win last night. Casey McGehee looking for more hits and votes. A makeshift vote hits McGee hat. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. It was high drama for the Marlins yesterday, for sure. And the Fish have an opportunity to win this series. They won the series in St. Louis, and now even despite struggling offensively, a chance to win it here.
You know, for some reason, a series win always feels a little bit better when you lose the first game of the series, especially the way the Marlins lost the first game here.
Well, the way they won the second game was quite dramatic. The Fish held in check. Didn't have much offense to show until that ninth inning. We talk about all-stars and all-star snubs. Marcell Ozuna is an overlooked guy as well.
He sure is. You and I were talking before the game. There are some guys on the all-star team that don't have the production that Marcell Ozuna has this year. What a blast last night against Addison Reed, the Diamondbacks closer, to win the game 2-1, a two-run shot. And Marcell Ozuna has done this a lot in his career and this year. That has hit big home runs late in games. How about 15 home runs, 51 RBIs? He continues his hitting streak at 14 games. 4 of his home runs have tied games or given the Marlins the lead. And how about 5 in close and late situations? This guy all of a sudden is becoming one of the most clutch Marlin hitters this year.
Let's turn to pitchers. Diamondbacks have gotten very good starting pitching in this series. Chevron brings you the starting pitchers in this one. For the Fish, Nathan Eovaldi gets the ball.
Good vibes for Nathan Eovaldi against the Diamondbacks. He's 2-0 in 6 games, 3 starts. He's always pitched well against Arizona.
And on the other end, a guy that has a little funk in his delivery. He's always been tough on the Fish, John Coleman.
He has. It's always one of those guys. Okay, he has the weird delivery. Got to figure him out. Change ups. He's throwing a few more curveballs this year. He's not overpowering, though.
Okay, so that's the scene here on an afternoon in Phoenix. Sam Dyson and the bullpen coming through big last night. We'll get to know Sam Dyson and the pen as the Fish and the Snakes finish off a 3-gamer. Diamondbacks, Chase Field, as the fish get set to finish this 3-game set. Let's go down below. Allison Williams.
Hey there, Rich. It was Marcell Ozuna that was the hero for the Marlins last night when he launched the 2-run home run in the 9th. But you got to look at the Marlins bullpen as well. They did a nice job of keeping it a 1-run game after a start from Brad Hand. And the Marlins bullpen came up big. Sam Dyson, a couple of big outs. Mike Dunn ends up getting the win. And Steve Cishek, they say Brian Morris also notching a couple of outs. So strong performance from the Marlins pen. And Dyson, one of those guys who maybe we don't know a lot about. He was just recalled on June 28th, but he did not give up a hit. It's his 3rd appearance on this road trip. Still has not given up a hit. He's primarily a fastball pitcher. He'll use that slider. So I talked to him a little bit about the type of pitcher he is and that slider, why it's been more effective for him lately.
Just a power pitcher, but I usually pitch to contact, and occasionally I get some strikeouts, but it seems that I'm getting more strikeouts now that I've been using my slider.
What about it has made it more effective?
Just throwing it. Usually I don't throw it very often, and I've just been trying to make a point to throw it, pretty much to every hitter.
Is that because you're more confident with it, or?
Yeah, I changed my grip a couple weeks ago, and it's worked out for the best.
The sinker that you throw, it's got a lot of movement. Where did you develop that? How long have you been throwing it?
I've been throwing it since high school, college. I would assume my pitching coach in college helped me out with it somewhat. There's another guy on our team, Blake Cooper, who's with the Diamondbacks. I think he's in AAA with them right now. He had a nasty one. He was just turning it over, and I was just trying to emulate him. And, I guess it got better over time.
You heard him talk about developing that sinker. He said in college the seams on the ball felt like a 1/4 of an inch higher, so it was uncomfortable to throw a 4-seamer. Started throwing the 2-seamer more. It had a lot of sink. It worked for him, so he stuck with it. As far as the slider, he tweaked his grip just a little bit after being set down earlier this year to New Orleans. All right, series finale from Chase Field is coming up next. Game 3 between the Marlins and the Diamondbacks from Phoenix. First pitch next.
Marlins and Diamondbacks. Christian Yelich steps in the box. Pinchapetty brings you the first pitch. Josh Colmenter, all 6'4", 238, delivers. Fastball knee high, a strike. And this ball game is underway. Yelich, Donovan Solano, Giancarlo Stanton leading it off against Colmenter. And at 85 miles an hour, he catches the inside corner. Numbers on Colmenter, who's been both in the rotation and in the bullpen this year. And picking up his delivery is always a challenge. Tommy, there aren't too many starters in the big leagues that have this look.
You always talk about picking up that release point from a pitcher. Hey, no problem for Christian Yelich because Colmenter's release point is unusual.
Yelich bangs one into left field. He's having a terrific road trip. He's 10 for 25 on the trip. The Marlins lineup Brought to you by JM Lexus. You've met Yelich. And here comes Donovan Solano getting a start at second. He's had a nice trip. Giancarlo Stanton in the 3 spot. Casey McGee, Garrett Jones, Marcell Ozuna, the big home run last night when the Marlins were down to their last strike. Adeiny Hechavarria, Jeff Mathis, Nathan Eovaldi. And here is Solano against Comenter. And the count 1-0. Solano's had a nice trip as well. Donovan some big hits, especially in St. Louis. 7 for 13 on the trip.
Yeah, Donovan Solano had those back-to-back 3-hit games against the Cardinals.
And remember when Mike Matheny was complimenting the epic at bat of Casey McGee against Trevor Rosenthal in Miami's comeback win over the Cardinals in the top of the 9th on Saturday. He also talked about the at bat that Donovan Solano had, a very similar at bat against Rosenthal, fought off pitch after pitch and then banged a hit into right field. And of course it was Solano that scored on the McGee hit to tie the game before Baker drove in McGee with a game winner. Solano with a count 1-1. Marlins winners last night by a score of 2-1. And that's after a trouncing at the hands of the Diamondbacks. A 9-1 ball game in the opener on Monday. Solano up the middle, hit hard. Gregorius. Ahmed with the turn, and it's a double play. Two guys who can really pick it up the middle. DD Gregorius and Nick Ahmed.
Yeah, and two guys that you and I sat up here and watched take some early ground balls and work on that exact play. Here's the defense for the Snakes in this one. David Peralta, Endar Inciarte in center field. Gerardo Parra, the right fielder. PRADO, Ahmed, DIDI Gregorius, who is a shortstop by trade but made that play nicely. Goldschmidt and Montero.
Stanton takes a rip and pops one towards the seats. Goldschmidt over, reaches, got it. Terrific play by Paul Goldschmidt and a quick inning for Josh Comenter. We're underway in Phoenix and scoreless. And here come the Diamondbacks. JM Lexus brings you the Diamondbacks order, obviously decimated by injuries. Ender Inciarte is in center. David Peralta has been a nice story in left. And, of course, the all-star Paul Goldschmidt at first. Miguel Montero in the cleanup spot. Martin PRADO always hits well against the Marlins. He's riding an 8-game streak. Gerardo Parra, the Gold Glover in right. DD Gregorius at second. Nick Ahmed at short. And Comenter is slotted ninth. Here is INCIARTE. The story of the 2014 Diamondbacks is one of injuries. Nathan Eovaldi whips in a fastball at 95 for a strike. Eovaldi looking for win number 6 on the season.
You know, the amazing thing about when you look at the roster of the Diamondbacks, you're looking at Rule 5, you're looking at independent league guys. But one thing, Nathan Eovaldi has pitched well in this ballpark. He's had 4 starts, or 4 games, 3 starts here, and he's 2-0 against the Diamondbacks.
One of those was his major league debut back on August 6th as a Dodger. That one smoked to right. Stanton a few steps to his right, and he gloves it for the out.
I think a lot of hitters hit a ball in that area and they look up and they go, why is he playing so far over? Here's a look at the rest of the defense in the outfield. Yelich, Ozuna, and Stanton. We've seen Stanton do that a lot this year. McGee, Echeverria on the left side, Solano, Garrett Jones over on the right side, Jeff Mathis behind the plate.
Here is David Peralta. With all the injuries, you have guys that are getting opportunities, and Peralta certainly is one of those guys.
Yeah, I can do that. I would definitely.
And a fastball misses into Peralta. Peralta, he's 26. He's from Venezuela. He started his baseball career as a pitcher. And then after a couple of shoulder surgeries, he decided to try it as a hitter. And it wasn't like Tommy, he was able to just jump right into another organization. He had to go through places like Amarillo, Wichita, Rio Grande, through a variety of independent leagues. And he showed that he could hit. And he's done that certainly here at the big league level.
Yeah, his pitching days were in the Cardinals organization. Then he was released.
He's had a good series here, a double and a triple. Fastball jammed and busted his bat. Echeverria, an acrobatic flip to get the out at first.
An acrobatic flip and a tester for the arm.
First baseman.
That spent some time on the disabled list with that forearm soreness, so this is a good test for that. And he just comes through perfect.
Now Goldschmidt, and as heroic and dramatic as the home run last night by Marcell Ozuna was, it was just as scary to watch the ball off the bat of Goldschmidt. 3-0 pitch from Steve Cishek. Goldschmidt green lighted, blasted it to right. Stanton on the warning track made the catch, and the game was over.
Yeah, you kind of had the feeling with the count 3-0 in a 1-run game that he'd get the green light. He just missed it a little bit, got under it, and did send Stanton to the track.
This was the at bat. This was the pitch, the 3-0 pitch.
And I'm sure Steve Cishek and Saltalamacchia, they're aware of the count, the fact that Goldschmidt probably will swing.
To left, Yelich in, ball dying, Yelich charging, and he makes the catch. Nathan Eovaldi, a clean first. Phoenix. Scoreless ball game, Miami and Arizona. Casey McGee, you got a day and a half to vote in Major League Baseball's final vote for the All-Star game. Marlins.com. You can vote through Thursday at 4 o'clock. Time is running out. There's your opportunity. You can text it 89269. It's very easy. We did it a lot last night on email and Twitter Tuesday. N1 is his designation to that number. Go to MLB.com and vote through Thursday. Now the Twitter voting starts tomorrow. That's when, if you hit hashtag vote hits McGee and put that in your tweet, that counts as a vote. But that's a 6-hour window tomorrow. You can vote by text or online up until 10 a.m. tomorrow, when the Twitterverse joins in as Cole Mentor with that big breaking ball hits McGee. That's a makeshift cap, but
I like that.
You salute the resourcefulness. McGee hit 2 balls hard last night to center field. Had nothing to show for the night, and a lot of his streaks came to an end. A 14-game hitting streak, a 21-game streak on the road. He did not reach base, and so his streak of 31 consecutive games reaching base ended as well.
He figured he'd get it all out of the way. Made a couple of errors too, so it's a new start now for Casey.
Garrett Jones, Marcell Ozuna coming up against Josh Cole Mentor.
You watch Cole Mentor, you see 85, 86. That's his fastball. He's not going to overpower you. We've seen the curve, we've seen change-ups.
McGee got jammed, and he dumps it into center field for a base hit.
See, the 2-line drives last night were caught. He figured he'd go to that little bloop single in shallow center.
And he finds himself a hit to lead off the second.
First baseman, number
Ball ran
46.
in on him a little bit, but out of the reach of the shortstop, AHMED.
Garrett Jones now in the lineup in a ballpark where he swings the bat quite well. Jones 3 for 5 in this series with a couple of doubles. You can see the outfield playing him to pull. We've seen a lot of infields really shift dramatically for both Garrett Jones and Jared Saltalamacchia, and Saltalamacchia is facing a right-hander. Jones up to 19 doubles with the pair he had in game 1. It was Jeff Baker at first last night.
Let's give you a little bit more on the 6'4" right-hander, Josh Cole Mentor. Funny and jerky, funky and jerky. We usually use one of those, not both, but he's both. Good changeup. He has that Iron Mike machine delivery. It looks like the old Iron Mike pitching machine. Over the top.
Jones with a pop up down the third base line, long run, and PRADO slides and just missed it. The difference between the Iron Mike machine and Cole Mentor, you could turn the Iron Mike up to about 95.
Yeah, he doesn't throw that hard, but here it is, and look at right over the top. He kind of leans, stretches, looks upward. He also, Rich, is kind of a conundrum. He's been very good as a starting pitcher, probably their most consistent and healthy this year, but as a reliever over the last few years he's been outstanding.
Now with 2 strikes, the Diamondbacks put on a pronounced infield shift, and Cole Mentor misses outside.
Well, with all their pitching injuries, he finds himself in the rotation this year.
Now the headliners, of course, Patrick Corbin just before the season started, and Bronson Arroyo about a week ago. Jones rolls over, out there, Goldschmidt, nice play by Goldschmidt to get the out and then get the double play. And already Cole Mentor has a pair of double plays.
When you're a first baseman and you get that ball so closely to the bag, Goldschmidt did. He was able to push off the bag, make a perfect throw, and get the double play. Paul Goldschmidt, a Gold Glove winner as well.
And I think people forget about that with all the home runs and the power. Second in the National League MVP race last year, and All-Star the last 2 seasons. Marcell Ozuna climbs in now. And the last pitch he saw went about 440 feet to center field. Slow breaking ball for a strike, and it's 1-1. Momentum misses away at 78. So it's 2-1. 15th homer for Ozuna. Nearly took out a cameraman in the camera well in center field. That is a high drive to left. Peralta went back, in, and then back again. He makes the catch. And the Marlins are done in the second. Still scoreless in Arizona. Second, Marlins and Diamondbacks, a great contrast of pitchers here with Josh Comenter and Nathan Eovaldi. And of course, on the 15th, a Tuesday, baseball's best will be in Minnesota. The 2014 All-Star Game, 7:30 on Fox. Special coverage begins at 4:30 on Fox Sports 1.
I am sure, Rich, well, first of all, Stanton will be there. But I'm sure they have some nice plans for Derek Jeter, who will be appearing in his final All-Star game.
Without a doubt. And that will be, I think, one of the real, maybe the storyline of that game. Jeter has so many All-Star memories and has played in so many All-Star games.
It'll be a little different. Remember what was done for Mariano Rivera. Of course, that one was at Yankee Stadium, and the players didn't go out. They allowed him to take the mound, and he was out there all by himself.
High fly ball sending Stanton back, and just shy of the track, he makes the catch. And Miguel Montero is retired. Diamondbacks catcher. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority. The Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions. This game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Marlins. Eovaldi, a hard thrower, in contrast to Comenter. As we noted, when he was a Dodger, he won his major league debut here, pitching 5 innings, giving up 2 runs in a 5-3 win back in 2011.
Well, I like the way Nathan Eovaldi is going right after hitters, breaking balls, fastballs, but he's getting ahead quickly with that first pitch strike.
Martin PRADO, a home run in game 1 of the series. The evolution of Eovaldi we've seen this year, from hard thrower and high strikeout totals to more efficient, pound the strike zone, and at times pitching to contact.
I think at times, for the most part, that's good, but I think at times it gets him in trouble just a little bit.
Too many strikes.
Yeah.
And it counts 1 and 2.
And what happens in those games where he maybe doesn't have the really good stuff? And pitchers go out there all the time and win games without their really good stuff. But in those games, if he gets too many strikes, too much to the plate, that's when he gets hit a little bit.
Here's the 1-2. And it's up. And in this day and age of Tommy John surgery, hitting mostly hard throwers, but a guy like Bronson Arroyo undergoing Tommy John, that's ended his season. Even Jamie Moyer had Tommy John at the end of his career. Eovaldi had his in high school. To right, Stanton is there. As a junior in Alvin, Texas, Nathan Eovaldi had Tommy John surgery. It's one of the reasons he was drafted in the 11th round by the Dodgers. If he stays healthy and doesn't have that surgery, there's a pretty good chance his draft status rockets a lot higher to the first round.
You know, talking about Bronson Arroyo, 8 of 9 years he'd gone 200 or more innings. The 1 year he didn't, he went 199, and he'd never been on the disabled list. So you never know.
Yes, if Arroyo has it, no one's immune.
Yeah.
There is PARRA. Chopper to first. Jones flips. Eovaldi there. Both pitchers efficient, working quickly, and on to the third. Scoreless. Sports Florida brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By AT&T U-verse TV. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK AT&T. Mobilizing your world. By Checkers. Checkers brings big flavor for a small price. Feed your craving. Quality for only $1. Cha-ching. And by your South Florida Honda dealers and sfhondadealers.com. It's one thing over the All-Star break. I'm going to work on the cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Still,
I think I see progress, though.
I think I'll be announcing off flat ground on that one.
It'll take a while.
Danny Echeverria. Cole Mentor delivers strike. Jeff Mathis, Nathan Eovaldi, bottom third of the order. Miami has a pair of leadoff hits. Christian Yelich in the first, Casey McGee in the second. Both were erased on double play balls. So Cole Mentor has faced the minimum through 2.
He actually did that earlier this year in 9 innings.
Shallow to right. PARRA is there, and he makes the catch, and we check in with Allison Williams. Hey, Dub.
Well, Rich, oftentimes teams will come up with different kind of gimmicks for guys to rally around and have fun with and just kind of keep some positive mojo going in the clubhouse. Well, Jeff Mathis came up with an idea during spring training. He was doing some shopping, and he saw a hat that, well, he just couldn't pass up. It was a boss hat. You can see it there with the stars on the hat there, and he thought, you know what? We could have some fun with this. So he brought it to the team, and it's been with them ever since. It's awarded to the player who really comes up big in the game. Of course, Marcell Ozuna was the latest recipient of the hat. Whoever gets it gets to wear it for that night, keep it in their locker until the next game when someone else comes up big, and then they select the person and pass it on in that way. Now, Mathis will tell you it's getting some more steam because now it's around on the road. At the beginning of the year, it just never really found its way into the hat box, so they did take it on the road. You'll remember how the Marlins struggled away from home to begin the season, so they've got it on this road trip this time, and they're going to keep it with them, and the guys have fun with it and make sure to pass it along after each game.
Is it only on a win, or is it every game, even if the Marlins lose?
I think it's just on a win. So after a win, whoever came up big in that game, and he said, you know, it's been a lot of different guys, from starters to bullpen guys. Case McGee has had it quite a bit with his clutch hitting, but it's made its way around the clubhouse quite a bit.
Let's hope someone is sporting that hat on the flight to New York.
That would look nice. Yeah, with the way the Marlins played on the road early in the year, there really weren't many worthy players because there weren't many wins.
Miami opened the season 3-15 on the road. Now Evaldi, and Cole Mentor goes right after him with a strike.
No, I mentioned Cole Mentor had faced the minimum 9 innings. He gave up 3 hits in a game to Cincinnati, but with double plays faced 27 men, didn't walk anybody, and ended up pitching a 4-0 shutout.
Chopper out to short. AHMED there. And he gets the out at first, and Cole Mentor has faced the minimum through 3. Still scoreless. Through mid-May, the Marlins were 3-15 on the road.
Yeah, and look at that, the rankings in the National League. Best road record since that time, 14-9. The runs per game have been a lot better. Batting average, the ERA. But as you and I discussed between innings, things have kind of gone in the other direction at home. That really good home record kind of evened out a little bit.
Yeah, Marlins had the best home record in the National League for a long time. But the Fish have slipped at home. They're just 5 over at 27-22. DIDI Gregorius. And he takes a strike. DIDI Gregorius took ground balls in his orange Netherlands soccer shirt. Big match today. Netherlands and Argentina. Gregorius was born in the Netherlands. Moved to Curacao when he was about 5 or 6.
He has known Andrelton Simmons, the Braves shortstop, since they're about 5, 6 years old.
Well, there's a whole group of infielders in the big leagues. And Gregorius, one of them. That one eats Solano up. And with Gregorius' speed, he's going to beat the throw.
Thought Solano could have played a little differently. The ball wasn't to his backhand. And I think if he just stays in front like a third baseman, it's right there. He tried to backhand it for some reason. Ball got away from him, and Gregorius gets a base hit. I think if he just tries to knock it down as a third baseman would, it stays in front of him if he doesn't get it cleanly, and he might get the out.
Well, Gregorius is going to get a hit. And he's aboard. AHMED, the number 8 hitter. And he takes the strike. AHMED, a guy known for his club, has started to hit a little bit. And with the injuries, I mean, there are injuries everywhere when it comes to the Diamondbacks. Chris Owings, a shoulder injury, opened the door for AHMED. Mark Trumbo trying to come back, and he's tearing it up right now in Reno. Solano looks at second, goes to first.
Hey, the big right-handed hitter, Mark Trumbo, has played 6 rehab games. He's hitting .476 with 4 home runs and 11 RBIs.
I think he's ready.
I think he's close.
AT&T fan photo. Hashtag FL fan photo. And just tweet your photo out. It's brought to you by AT&T. We'll have that fan photo later on in the telecast. Clemente up with Gregorius at second. You've got Ender Inciarte in the leadoff spot on deck.
This is one of those situations I don't think he's bunting. Garrett Jones is playing in. This would be a time that you might have a pitcher bunt because Inciarte is the next hitter. You get the runner at third. He has good speed and he bunts for base hits a lot. He got one last night. But it doesn't look like Cole Mender's bunting. It's just the thought.
It's a good one. Not a big lead by Gregorius. And Eovaldi finishes him off. And so there are 2 outs. And here comes Inciarte. Tommy, did you know the 2014 Copa Euro Americana soccer tournament between Europe and the Americas is coming to Marlins Park? Atlético Nacional takes on AS Monaco. That's on Wednesday the 23rd. It's an 8 o'clock start. Purchase your tickets. 1-800-967-9393 or go to marlins.com/soccer.
I did know that because I think you read the promo last night.
Here's Inciarte, and he takes a strike.
What does AS Monaco mean? What is AS? All-Stars?
Either athletic squad.
Why, I would hope so.
It does not stand for average soccer. Maybe it's above average soccer.
That could be.
Counts 0-2. They're going to say he swung at that pitch. Wow, that's a break for Eovaldi. And it puts Inciarte in an 0-2 hole. Association Sportive. So file that one away. So when I read it on Friday, well, you won't be there on Friday.
I won't be there.
Tommy taking.
Ask Preston.
Tommy taking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off in New York. Preston Wilson will be sitting in. 0-2.
Hey, we had a little bit of a soccer presence in the booth last night. my nephew, who plays for the Arizona United.
That's right. And your nephew has played in MLS.
Played in the MLS with the Red Bulls. Played in Sweden a couple of years.
He's been your go-to guy when it comes to World Cup questions.
He has been.
Solano gobbles it up, and Eovaldi gets through the third. 3 quick innings, 3 scoreless innings. As we go to the 4th. Friday night, Marlins are back in action in New York to take on the Mets. South Florida Honda dealers. Henderson Alvarez, Zach Wheeler matchup. Greg Minervini, Carl Pavano will be in studio for that. Christian Yelich, top of the order, second time through against Josh Colmenter. And Yelich single back in the first. Donovan Solano, Giancarlo Stanton. If recent history means anything, it could be a long day for the fish. And that's a swing by Yelich. Colmenter last year, 7 innings against the Marlins. Did not give up a run. He's been very good at home, especially lately. Yelich swings and misses.
Now 6 of those innings were out of the bullpen too. 6 shutout relief innings, which last year Colmenter led all National League relievers in innings pitched.
Well, I believe the Diamondbacks played more innings than anybody in organized baseball last year. They had a ton of extra inning games. Colmenter actually pitched 29 of those extra innings.
I think the Marlins are challenging that record this year, though, perhaps.
And the Marlins have played a lot of those themselves. But Colmenter was the long man out of the pen. And he pitched the most extra innings in baseball since Tug McGraw in 1972.
With the Mets was Tug in 72.
0-2 to Solano. Scoreless ball game. The 0-2 is in. One-two coming. And it floats high. Marlins without a run, 2 hits. Diamondbacks without a run, 1 hit. Solano up here in the top of the 4th. Scoreless game. The 2-2 pulls it on the ground. PRADO to his right, crossed the diamond, Nice pick by Goldschmidt. And Solano is out number 2.
I think one of the, it might not be amongst infielders, but one of the underappreciated things about first baseman is how you can help your infielders. If you have a guy who can pick it a little bit, you're going to save a ton of errors during the course of the season. Infielders, other infielders certainly appreciate a first baseman picking a ball like that.
Here is Stanton now.
No one has really barreled up a ball. The best swing so far for the Marlins was Yelich's single that led the game off.
Stanton hasn't barreled up a ball much at all on this road trip. He is 3 for 22. What have you seen? Because we've not seen Stanton in this long a drought. He's gone 58 plate appearances without a home run. That's his longest on the season.
Okay, what I've seen is what we usually see when he goes through these periods. Number one, sometimes he outthinks himself, and you see him taking a lot of fastballs that are pretty good pitches to hit. And number two, that front shoulder just leaves a little bit too soon. Not like that.
That one may leave right center field, deep at the track. Run down, Inciarte.
That's a good swing. They'll file that one away and remember it.
Cole Mentor through 4, still scoreless. Florida is brought to you by Palmetto 57 Nissan and Palmetto 57 Volkswagen, home of your money-back guarantee. By Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Visit us at Publix.com. And by Rand Eye Institute. Imagine clear, focused vision without the hassle of glasses or contacts. For more information, go to RandEye.com. This is actually a mild day weather-wise here in the Valley of the Sun. A little overcast. Temperatures have been up in the mid to upper 100s. 108 a couple days ago, about 104 yesterday. Right now in downtown Phoenix, just 93 degrees.
Open the roof.
David Peralta against Nathan Eovaldi to start the bottom of the 4th. And Eovaldi misses out. Peralta bounced to short back in the 1st. Been quite a start for Peralta in the big leagues here with the Diamondbacks. This is game number 34, and he dumps that one into left center. Yelich is there to make the catch. In 33 games, no one has had more hits to start a Diamondback career.
That's pretty impressive for a guy who's had a well-traveled way of getting here, too.
Goldschmidt now lined out back in the first. Montero also scheduled here in the fourth. Eovaldi yanks that one wide of the plate. Paul Goldschmidt, not a guy that was a first-round draft pick, not a guy that came out of a big college program. Texas State, where he led the NCAA in RBIs. The Woodlands in Texas, his hometown.
All right, he has another 3-0 count. See if he gets another green light.
Takes it. And he's aboard. First walk for Eovaldi.
Catcher, Miguel Montero.
Goldschmidt has been walking a lot. It's late May. He leads all major leaguers. 35 walks in that time. And here is Montero.
You don't want to forget about him either at first base. He has 8 steals. He's stolen 8 out of 10.
Montero's numbers have perked up a bit from last year. 11 homers, 52 driven in this year. He was an all-star back in 2011.
Boy, 18 home runs that year, 86 RBIs.
One of the guys the Diamondbacks have locked up through 2017. This is a Diamondback team whose payroll is right around $112 million.
And unfortunately for them, a lot of that payroll on the disabled list now.
Well, Arroyo is a big chunk of that. Of course, their young starter Patrick Corbin before the season out. AJ Pollock, Eric Chavez. Talked about Chris Owings. Cliff Pennington's hurt as well. So this isn't really when Kevin Towers put this team together. It's hard to judge a roster when you don't get to see everybody play together.
And now Tony La Russa is in the mix to try to help in that judging.
La Russa named Chief Baseball Officer. Two-1 to Montero. It's fouled out of play. Toyota trend on this Wednesday in Phoenix. Only 13 players remain from the opening day roster. And yeah, opening day was March 22nd in Australia. And they've got 11 rookies right now getting a chance to play in the big leagues. The Marlins know what this feels like. The Marlins had such a rough year last year. Yelich is there and makes the catch.
You know, it's kind of a catch-22, as you mentioned, Rich. The Marlins know what it's like, but if you look at the good side for the Diamondbacks, Kevin Towers, Kirk Gibson, Tony La Russa, now they're getting an opportunity to see guys play at the major league level that maybe they wouldn't have seen on a day in and day out basis.
Guys like Peralta and Ahmed,
Inciarte.
Well, the Marlins have seen PRADO for a long time, and he's a terrific player. So versatile. He's one of those guys in Atlanta where you never quite knew where he was going to be in the lineup, whether it was second or third or left.
But you knew he'd be in the lineup. Chipper Jones get a day off. All right. PRADO at third base. Chipper in the lineup. PRADO would move into left field.
He's hit in 8 straight. And Eovaldi a quick throw to first. Goldschmidt over there.
We mentioned it last night. Martin Prado in his career, 83 career games against the Marlins. And look at the numbers. 313 average. A lot of big RBIs too.
A few walk-off hits as well in Atlanta against the Fish. 1-0 is a strike.
That's a pitch that Nathan Eovaldi has working for him well today. A slider. It's sharp. It's got some good bite to it.
And talking to Chuck Hernandez and even guys like Jeff Mathis and Jared Saltalamacchia, that's a pitch that Eovaldi has to command and throw for strikes to get big league hitters off his fastball, however fast it is. And it is fast. Last year, of course, Eovaldi's fastball, the highest average velocity of any starter with 100 innings.
But you're right about that. If he's not getting the slider or the curveball over, the term hitters use, they'll just spit on it and sit back and wait for that fastball. It's 96, 97 miles an hour.
Little tapper. Mathis has it, makes the play. And Eovaldi gets through the fourth unscathed to the fifth. Scoreless ball game. Tight one in Arizona.
The ballpark, you have to get a hot dog. Well, here at Chase Field, you can get a big dog. They actually feature an 18-inch corn dog. Look at that thing, and it's stuffed with cheddar cheese, jalapenos, I think there's some bacon. Grant, are you actually going to attempt to eat this by yourself?
I am going to attempt to eat most of it. I might share some of it with my dad, but, you know.
That's ambitious.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll finish the fries, but definitely going to try to finish the corn dog.
Well, I hope you're hungry if you want to finish that thing. I know I could not eat one of these by myself, but I think I know somebody who could help me out. Maybe a couple of guys up in the booth. So I'm going to send one of these your way, Rich and Tommy, and we'll see how much damage you guys can do on the D-bat is what they call it.
All right, so you're sending that in our direction. Are you ready for? Have you eaten yet?
I ate a little bit. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I have to call my cardiologist first, I think.
Casey McGee, Garrett Jones, Marcell Ozuna. If you're just popping by, Josh Comenter and Nathan Eovaldi have both been sharp in a scoreless ball game. McGee blooped a single into left field to lead off the second. But Comenter, in both the first and the second, erased hits with double play ground balls. It's a sharp ground ball to Ahmed, who gets the out at first. And up comes Garrett Jones. Limited schedule in baseball this afternoon. A lot of games tonight. The Tigers winners, a 4-1 win over the Dodgers.
Second straight. Beat the Dodgers 14-5.
Opens the door for the Giants to try to draw even, though the Giants and A's are at it again tonight. They're in San Francisco tonight. Oakland winning the first 2 over in Oakland. Rockies a 3-1 lead over the Padres in the 4th. Jones hooks another ground ball. Goldschmidt gets to the bag. Not a lot of comfortable swings, and as you put it last inning, not a lot of balls off the barrel of the bat.
No, not too many. And again, we talked about it at the very beginning of the game. Josh Colmenter has an unusual, funky, jerky delivery, one that you just don't see often, so difficult to pick up the ball right away.
There's Marcell Ozuna.
So he's gone over 11 career innings now against the Marlins without allowing a run.
The Gecko arrives for the Geico quote. Mike Redmond, that was quite the finish there. We've been waiting for that big hit for a couple of days now. Marlins scored just 1 run in game 1. The 2 runs coming on Ozuna's home run for the win last night in a 2-1 win, but they haven't scored here. They don't have a hit with a runner in scoring position in this series.
That's pretty amazing that they come into this game with a chance to win the series.
Ozuna knocks it foul.
Marcell Ozuna's had a nice road trip.
Miguel Montero out to talk to Colmenter. Central Michigan University. That's where Colmenter went to school. 15th round pick by the Diamondbacks. And while he's made his mark as a reliever, now back into the rotation. He won a postseason game for him in 2011. Won game 3 of the division series.
Wouldn't you like to have seen the scouts report on Colmenter when they first wrote him up? Talking about his delivery.
Elevates that fastball. Oftentimes you hear the scout that signs a guy or recommends a guy, especially like Colmenter, comment, hey, because they'll get to an organization and other guys will try to change his delivery or this. The scout will say, don't change anything, because that's what makes him unique. You hear that a lot with guys that have the unique deliveries, just something that you just don't see. And Ozuna walks. And so he's aboard. And Chavarria coming up.
And that's why Colmenter has been so valuable. Both as a starter and a reliever. A guy who Kirk Gibson can bring in, get some innings out of, some quality innings. So he's always going to have a spot on a major league roster.
And Chavarria lines it into left field. That's a base hit. Ozuna stops at second. And Miami has multiple runners on for the first time in the ball game. And Jeff Mathis comes up.
That's the first time either team has had multiple runners on.
Mathis who has swung the bat in limited duty pretty well of late. A meager 4-game hit streak coming in, but for a catcher that catches every 4 or 5 days, a 4-game hit streak, I mean, that's a week and a half worth of games.
Well, and Jeff Mathis knows that his job is to go in and handle whoever he's pitching or whoever he's catching, because he does such a good job of calling a game, handling a pitcher, be it a young pitcher or a veteran pitcher. The hits for Jeff Mathis are just a bonus.
Nathan Eovaldi is on deck. Mathis in the 8th spot. Ozuna at second. Echeverria at first. Yeah, pretty good wheels out there. Very fast outfield. It's fouled off the screen. This outfield and infield similar to Marlins Park. Fast. Ball probably scoots through this infield a little faster than Miami's infield this year. But
yeah, I think the infield's faster. Yeah,
you got spacious gaps. Speed in the outfield almost a necessity in these two teams' home parks. 1-2.
I just got thinking, a big hit here by Mathis to drive in the first run could have him as an early contender for the Boss hat.
I wonder how many times he's awarded it to himself.
Well, it would have to be Ozuna awarding it to him. Because Ozuna has it right now.
Count 1-2. And he got him. Cole Mentor strikes out Mathis, and the Marlins are done halfway through. I think lunch is here. Look. Oh, now that's a corn dog.
I'll take this hat.
Deep in a corn dog right now. Rich Waltz, Tommy Hutton, Allison Williams. Allison, of course, bringing up the 18-inch corn dog, which Hutt has dug into.
How is it?
You wouldn't eat this, would you?
Heck no. Maybe a bite or two. That's why I brought it up to you guys. Look at that, though. It's got cheddar cheese in it, jalapenos, little bacon.
It's got a nice little bite to it.
Yeah. When you slice into it, all kinds of foreign objects come flying out. I would suggest, Dub, that you take half of that over to Dave Van Horn and Glenn Geffner and see how quickly they consume it.
I think that's a good call, because if we don't, Geff's going to be a little jealous on that plane ride and probably complaining to us about not sharing the food like he did last time. So, all right, I'll deliver this.
Is that the most unusual? What's the most unusual food item?
But that one in Texas.
That was,
yeah.
Yes, the bacon waffle chocolate fried on a stick deal was definitely very unusual in Texas. And then the beef sundae that they had there. So yeah, this is
tame compared to that. All right, run that over to Geff.
You guys are sharing, okay?
And it's good that we have Nexium on board at this point.
Need some of that up here next.
You know, that's product placement at its very best. Bottom of the 5th. Gerardo Parra, hard bouncer to Casey McGee for the first out. And here is DIDI Gregorius. Gregorius, part of a long line of infielders. You mentioned Andrelton Simmons, Jonathan Scope, Xander Bogaerts, Jurickson Profar. He said they all grew up together, all knew each other. Gregorius missed the World Baseball Classic of 13. He had some arm issues, but all those other infielders were on that team, which advanced to the finals. Of course, upset Cuba to get to San Francisco in the finals. Andrew Jones was the captain of that team. To left, and Yelich drifts back and makes the catch. Allison, have you arrived in the radio booth yet?
I have. I don't want to disturb Dave because he's on air, but Geff is our foodie. So what do you think of that? The D-bat.
What's in this thing? What do you call this?
It's the D-bat. It's a corn dog. It was 18 inches. The other half is over with Rich and Tommy. There's little cheese in there, jalapenos, bacon, hot dog, corn dog, all in one.
Now, what I want to know is, does Rich know what to do with one of these things?
I think they're doing all right. Tommy was leading the way over there, so you can share with your partner there.
Yeah, Dave may have to help me with this. Dave may have to help me with this. Wow. Well, thank you. Thanks for thinking of us.
Hey, sharing's caring, right? Enjoy the D-bat.
Allison Williams spreading the love and spreading the corn dog.
Sharing is caring. Isn't that lovely?
Here's Nick Ahmed. Drop off some Nexium. Ahmed bounced to second, back in the 3rd. Eovaldi just keeps chugging along here. The only hit that the Diamondbacks had was, remember that hot smash at the feet of Solano, in which he tried to backhand a ball and somewhat misplayed it. As you get later in this ball game, and that's the only hit.
Yeah, it gets you thinking a little bit. It's one of those I certainly want to ask Perry Hill about. You know, his interpretation of the approach that Solano had.
Solano is one of his prized pupils. And you could probably ask Solano about it, too. He'll tell you exactly what he did. Echeverria gobbles this one up quickly to first, and he throws it away. Headed towards second is Ahmed, and he's going to get there. Well, 15-day disabled list for sore tricep for Echeverria. In that one, he looked like he took too little time.
Yeah, and you see how he flipped it, the position of his arm there instead of up a little bit higher. He didn't get the arm in the right slot, and thus threw it away. And it's a big error. It extends the inning. It's been a very efficient game to this point for Nathan Eovaldi. Now he's going to have to work, albeit he does get to go after Colementor, the pitcher.
He struck Colementor out back in the 3rd. And this is the Nathan Eovaldi that we've seen this year, Tommy. Here he is shutting out the Diamondbacks in Arizona. He's given up just the one hit, and he struck out just one. He's walked one. To right, Stanton is there. And he makes the catch. And the inning is over. 5 in the books. And nary a run. Marlins have 3 hits. Diamondbacks have 1. Casey McGehee, final vote. Here's how to do it. Marlins.com/final vote. Or text to the number 89269. 89269. Text N1. That's McGee's designation in the final votes. McGehee in this ball game is 1 for 2. Not a lot of hits for either side. The Marlins have 3 hits. And of course, tomorrow is the time to do it on Twitter. Tomorrow is when the Twitter votes actually count. And so #VoteHitsMcGehee tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. a 6-hour window. Every time you use #VoteHitsMcGehee, it'll count as a vote for Casey. Now, you don't need to put that #VoteHitsMcGehee a number of times in the tweet. If a tweet shows up with that hashtag, it only counts as 1 vote, no matter how many times you put it in the tweet. You just throw it in there once, tweet it, retweet it, send it to your friends, have them retweet. Now Eovaldi against Colementor. Christian Yelich, Donovan Solano due up here in the 6th inning.
Which one do you push to retweet again, Rich? On the Twitter account, the little star?
No, not the star.
Not the star.
It's the little arrows that.
Okay.
It's like an arrow that comes around and points down, and then an arrow that comes around and points up. Sort of like the recycle.
You know, every once in a while, I need an update.
Yeah. You just press that, and it asks you retweet, quote tweet. That one in the Marlins dugout, and that one hit McGehee. #hit McGehee. That's the wrong hashtag. Or did it get Garrett Jones?
Might have got Garrett Jones.
And a strike. Eovaldi called out on strikes. Saturday, big day of Major League action begins with the Cardinals and the Brewers on Fox Sports 1. And then Baseball Night in America on Fox, Nationals and Phillies. It's a doubleheader, and it starts Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. It continues at 7 Eastern on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Leading up to the All-Star game, and of course the All-Star game on Tuesday in Minneapolis on Fox. Big pregame show as well on Fox Sports 1. Here's the 1-1. Yelich up the middle into center field, base hit. Waited on it and then banged it. Almost looked like it hit the pitching rubber.
Yeah, it was. You talk about a ball hit right back at the box. It was. And a good job by Yelich to stay back, to keep his hands back. A little bit out front, and then just smacks it off the mound. The good thing there, it was straight off the mound. Sometimes you'll hit a ball like that and it'll ricochet to short or second.
Solano now. We haven't seen Yelich run in a while. Colemanter just waiting him out. He's 11 of 13 in stolen bases.
Yeah, Colemanter trying to freeze him there.
Montero has thrown out 27% of base stealers this year.
Colemanter does a pretty good job. Move to first, fairly quick to the plate.
Stanton on deck. And the Diamondbacks pitch out. Well, if Mike Redmond doesn't want a straight steal, he's got a really good hit and run guy at the plate in Donovan Solano. Yelich is running and Solano is hitting into center field, a base hit. Yelich didn't blink. He's on his way to third. And Miami is set up now for Stanton, first and third and one out.
Boy, that's just beautiful execution. You roll the dice. The odds are they're not going to pitch out twice in a row. So Yelich on the move. Solano with a good bit of hitting. Yelich takes a peek, sees where the ball is, and knows he can get to third easily. So great job on both ends.
Giancarlo Stanton's last at bat. Tommy Hutton reminded us all to file away the line drive he hit to the warning track in right center field. He's 0 for 2, but a good swing his last time up. And Stanton drives one left center field. Park will hold it. INCIARTE makes the catch. Yelich tags on his way home, and Miami has a run. And runs are at a premium in this series for Miami. Stanton drives it in, his 63rd of the season.
Well, file that one away too, because he just got under this one a little bit. But it's all set up with that hit and run, runners at first and third. So great execution. The Marlins pick up a run on the sac fly. Good job by Giancarlo. A couple good swings his last two ABs. That's encouraging.
Here's McGee now. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Solano bolt for second. With 2 outs. Colemanter with a fastball for a strike. McGee a bloop hit back in the second and a bouncer to short. He was 2 for 4 in game 1 and 0 for 4 last night.
Well, Casey McGee with that base hit, 111, continues to lead. The margin getting a little slim. Daniel Murphy piling up some hits.
Murphy had a couple in the Mets win last night. The Mets beat the Braves. Those two teams play tonight. There are your hit leaders. Hunter Pence at 108. Paul Goldschmidt and Andrew McCutchen at 107. There's a liner into left field. Another hit for McGee. Solano stops, and that brings up Garrett Jones, who apparently caught some of that line drive that went into the Marlins dugout.
Good off-speed pitch. Casey McGee stays on it. He doesn't fly open that front side. Look how he stays on it and then hits it sharply over the head of the shortstop. He's done that all year. He's hit over 300 at home. He's hit over 300 on the road.
Now Jones with his third look at Cole Mentor. In his two previous at-bats, Jones has rolled over on changeups and bounced them to first.
Cole Mentor used to throw more changeups. He hasn't thrown as many. He has thrown some.
Solano the runner at second. McGee at first. The shift is on somewhat. And that one floats outside. And this is one of those ABs. We've seen Jones do this, Tommy, on a pitch just like that. Off speed, outside part. Drive it to left center.
Yeah, he'll just kind of flip it out there.
Especially if that's where Cole Mentor's going to pitch him. And he came in.
He had a little change up away, and then he cut the fastball 86 and ran it in on his hands.
Elevated a fastball, and it's 2-1. I guess the closest thing that I can think of in the big leagues to Cole Mentor is Chris Young, who's taller but has the same arm slot.
That's a good comparison. And Chris Young, even at 6, what is he, 6'11", 6'10", he doesn't throw hard.
2-1 coming. Jones pulls it, but it's foul. Young having a pretty good year on a very good Seattle pitching staff.
But again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's an unusual look for a hitter to pick up the ball, the release point of a Chris Young and a Josh Coleman.
Count 2-2. A run across. Miami getting a sacrifice fly from Giancarlo Stanton. There's that pitch that has been so tantalizing to Garrett Jones.
That's a good take for him to lay off of that changeup just off the plate. Now remember when he did that before, he came in with an 86 mile-an-hour fastball.
Or does he double up?
You got two choices. He doubles up or he goes in with a fastball. Let's see.
Full count, 2 out. Solano from second, McGee from first on the move. And Jones steps out. Runners move the 3-2. Got in on him. Jones lifts it in the air to center. INCIARTE makes the catch. Miami on the board, a 1-0 lead. UHealth Sports Medicine, the official health provider of the Marlins. Please stay tuned for more Marlins baseball. as his club on top. The Marlins still don't have a hit with a runner in scoring position, but a sacrifice fly by Giancarlo Stanton gives Nathan Eovaldi the lead. Third time through, not so good for Eovaldi, and here is Inciarte, his third at bat. Top of the order, David Peralta, Paul Goldschmidt will follow. The Marlins trying to climb within a game of 500, 44 and 46. As Tommy Hutton pointed out last night on Marlins Live, the Fish an opportunity to win this series, and then if they can go into New York and take 2 of 3, get to the All-Star break at 500.
That would be a nice climb back after some tough games.
Inciarte, a liner. Solano makes the catch.
We think about all that stuff, but shot of Mike Redmond, he just has to go inning by inning.
Terrific matchup to start things on Friday night in New York. Henderson Alvarez against Zach Wheeler, 6:30 for Marlins Live.
And as you pointed out, I will miss those games, but Preston will be on the top of his game. He's assured me of that.
We're in good hands. David Peralta and then Goldschmidt. Peralta's 0 for 2. Terrific changeup.
Not too many of those, but that was a good one.
Leaderboard brought to you by Palmetto 57 Nissan, Palmetto 57 Volkswagen. August hit streaks.
Well, Ozuna 0 for 1 today.
Peralta's on that list, with Goldschmidt and PRADO. Though it's Gregorius that has the only hit for Arizona. And there is Stanton who makes the catch.
But mixing things up really well, and don't ever underestimate the job that the catcher does, in this case Jeff Mathis, in calling the pitches for Nathan Eovaldi.
Goldschmidt is lined out and walked. Eovaldi dials up 96. We haven't seen Eovaldi really in the last month and a half come out and have one of those nights where he's blowing 98, 99. He's much more under control. Saw that nice changeup he threw to Peralta. That really his third pitch. The breaking ball has been on.
Well, it's not only great velocity, 96, but to run it inside in that area. Look at that. That's a great spot. And then back away.
Wow.
In fastball, slider away. That's just beautiful.
Down goes Goldschmidt. Miami up 1-0. Backs have just one hit. Nathan Eovaldi has been terrific through 6. Let's check in with Allison Williams. Hey, Dub.
Hey there, Rich. I'm out here with Andy, who caught our eye because he's got his homemade Hits McGee hat. Before I get to the hat, Andy, I want to ask you, how'd you become such a big Marlins fan?
Well, it's just really where I was born, and then I just decided to stick with the team. So showing some little hometown love and wearing a Marlins hat, Marlins gear, supporting them whenever they come to town.
Very nice. So despite moving to Phoenix at a young age, stuck with the Marlins. You see he's got the old school jersey. He's also got the new Marlins jersey, but you might want to keep that in a special place now. Who'd you get to sign it earlier?
I got Henderson Alvarez, one of my favorite pitchers, and I also got Tom Kohler, who's also really good.
All right, and I got to ask you about the hat. Tell me about the idea to make the Hits McGee hat.
Well, like yesterday I was on my phone, and it sent me the notification of the leaders in the final vote, and I saw McGee was last, and I've been voting for him. And I had been voting for him for the entire thing, for like past 2 days nonstop, and I decided that more people should know his name, get his name out there, and try to get him into the All-Star game.
Very nice. But you've been doing your part. You've been texting in, going online. You telling your friends to do it out here in Arizona too?
Yeah.
All right. Good job. And Andy's not the only one who is texting in votes today for Casey McGee. Back in Miami, they have actually shut down the office at Marlins Park. Everyone is hanging out, watching the game, and their only job today is to text in votes for Casey McGee. So Andy and everyone back in Miami trying to help out his cause.
Ozuna trying to stretch this into a double, and he's in there. And he extends his hit streak to 15 straight. A leadoff double here in the 7th. Challenge in the arm of Gerardo Parra. And he continues a terrific series. His 5th hit of the series. 2nd double.
Well, I tell you what I love about this. First of all, he hit one the pitch before about 440 feet up in the 2nd deck foul. And then Cole Mentor came in. He stayed inside, stayed right there with his stroke, hustling all the way, was able to drop it into right field, extend that hitting streak, and get into scoring position with nobody out.
And runs have been so scarce for Miami in this series. Now a chance to get him over and get him in. And it's Echeverria, who's 1 for 2. We'll try to get him over. Cole Mentor misses outside. Arizona's bullpen active here in the 7th. Been a terrific pitching matchup. Josh Cole Mentor for the Diamondbacks and Nathan Eovaldi for Miami. Pitch is low. Jeff Mathis is on deck, and then Eovaldi's spot. That's Stites in the Arizona pen. Echeverria had a rip at 2-0 pitch and fouls it off his foot. Ozuna waiting at 2nd. Echeverria taking a shot at the right side. Now the count at 2-2. 92 pitches. Cole Mentor. Eovaldi has been ultra effective and ultra efficient. 64 pitches. Up and in. No swing. Down full 3-2. Mathis, and remember, Eovaldi after him. It's certainly a challenging part of the lineup. Eovaldi's at bat looming, and he's not coming out of this ball game for sure. The way he's pitching. 3-2.
That's why it's an interesting situation for Echeverria. The one guy the Diamondbacks don't want to face this inning is Yelich. So they want to get Echeverria, and you wonder, well, would you rather him try to move the runner? In this case, you almost want to see him try to drive him in, because they want to go through Mathis and then Eovaldi if they get Echeverria, and not have to face Christian Yelich.
And Comenter strikes out Echeverria. It's a big out for the Diamondbacks to get. AT&T U-verse Rewind. This is where the season opened for the Diamondbacks in late March. Famous cricket grounds, and here's how they were transformed. And talking to many people who made the trip with the Diamondbacks, they had a great time down under. Those are hallowed grounds, Tommy.
It was also a very long trip that both the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Remember, Clayton Kershaw pitched over there and had some back issues and had to be placed on the disabled list for the first few weeks of the season. It has not affected him since he's come back, though.
That is such hallowed ground, the cricket grounds in Sydney, that they did not dig into the field. They actually put the fence, the outfield fence, up and sort of propped it up in a way that they didn't have to dig supports. I believe they did have to dig a hole to put the foul poles in, but that was it. Count is 2-0 to Mathis. You see the fence has kind of a
right in here.
Little weight behind it. It looks like the foul poles are actually on a slab.
Yeah, right there. Right there. You know, you didn't hear any complaints from the players, though. The surface, the playing field itself, the lighting.
Was that Greinke didn't make the trip?
But he made those complaints before.
Right. It's a preemptive strike. Comenter now trying to get Mathis because he's got Eovaldi on deck. And a time call, Mathis steps out. And you talked about it, he doesn't want to get to Yelich. The leadoff double by Ozuna, strikeout of Echeverria. Comenter has struck out 5. And he's been able to get Mathis twice.
So with that run the Marlins were able to get in the 6th inning, it's the first run they've ever scored off Josh Comenter in over 12 innings. And they had to scratch for it. Sacrifice fly.
They've had to scratch for everything in this series. And he got Mathis. And 2 big strikeouts for Comenter.
Even the 1 run the Marlins got in the loss, in their 9-1 loss, was a sacrifice fly.
Everything is up, and at 101 pitches now, Comenter gets exactly what he wanted, the chance to go after Eovaldi and leave Ozuna at second base. Eovaldi has bounced out and struck out. For his last 31 with 21 punch-outs. And a liner at the feet of Goldschmidt, and he snares it. Now the leadoff double, never budged from second. Josh Comenter, a nice job in the top of the 7th inning stretch, and a 1-0 Miami lead. Who doesn't love the chicken dance? Especially poolside. 1-0. Marlins on top, bottom of the 7th.
Poolside with a beer, chicken dance.
And a 1-0 game. And a watch party coming up on Saturday the 12th at Sports Grill Sunset in Miami. Marlins and Mets at 4:10. You got prizes. Billy the Marlin will be there. The Energy team, Tommy, will be doing their tumbling routines and entertaining all. You can take advantage of great wings and $3 Corona bottles during the game. For more info, go to marlins.com. Nathan Eovaldi back on the hill. Miguel Montero, Martin Prado, Gerardo, PARRA. In a 1-0 Miami lead. Montero has flied out twice. The ball and a strike.
The fastball from Eovaldi today has been consistent. It's been consistent 95, 96, but even more importantly, it's been consistent on the corners, in and out.
His pitch count low. His strikeout total low. 2 strikeouts, a walk, and 1 hit. That ball that Gregorius hit at the feet of Solano. Eovaldi along with Tom Kohler, 2 pitchers in Miami's rotation, who just became fathers in the last 3 weeks.
I'm sure it'll be a terrific all-star break for Nathan Eovaldi. Get a chance to go back to Texas, spend time with his family.
Full count on the Diamondbacks catcher. Into right. And a clean single to right. Stanton picks it up. And the Diamondbacks have a leadoff runner here in the 7th. AT&T fan photo. Tweet your photo, hashtag it FL fan photo, and you might end up on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Ribbon panel has selected Adam, who is socially gold. There you have it.
Now we're to assume Adam is in the middle.
And we're also to assume he's at a ballpark.
Hopefully Marlins Park.
Here's Martin Prado. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Mathis throw right on the money. Runner in, a rundown. It's Montero. Jones flips and he's tagged out. Marlins used a hit and run to their advantage. For the Diamondbacks, it blows up.
Well, that's a great way to erase that leadoff single. The hit and run fails. Mathis comes up and fires an absolute BB, a strike. And finally, Echeverria puts the tag. 2-4-3-6 is that caught stealing. But it all started with the great throw from Jeff Mathis.
Oh, 1 pitch to Prado.
And they pull that off so quickly. We didn't have a chance to get it out. That Prado's a good hit and run man. The Marlins have already incorporated that play.
If we had time to do that, he probably would have executed.
Yeah. Kirk Gibson thinking well ahead of us.
97 on that last fastball. Breaking ball liner, and Solano makes the catch.
I think it's interesting. The last 2 balls, though, they've been hit hard. The base hit and that one have been sliders. And then he did throw that 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Here's PARRA now. PARRA, such a great defensive outfielder. Has a pair of gold gloves. And what's unique about it, he won one as a left fielder and won one as a right fielder. It used to be they would just pick any 3 outfielders for a Gold Glove, and you'd oftentimes have 3 center fielders winning Gold Gloves. But now they do it by position. They've also, Rawlings,
I like that, by the way.
To their credit, Rawlings has also incorporated the advanced defensive metrics, so it's no longer just the votes of coaches and managers. Solano backhands it on to first, and Eovaldi off the leadoff single. No worry. On to the 8th, 1-0 Miami. Fish in the 8th. It's brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Well, this guy's been pretty good. Josh Colmenter, he picked up a strikeout, but you know what? This guy's been even better. Nathan Eovaldi with a slider there. The Marlins were able to get their 1 run. Base hit by Christian Yelich. You draw it up this way. This is how the hit and run is drawn up. It worked perfectly. Donovan Solano with the hit. Yelich at third. Stanton with a deep fly ball. Sacrifice fly, and the Marlins have a 1-0 lead, and that's the score as it stands right now.
In the 8th inning, a 1-0 ball game. Not a lot of runners stranded either. Josh Colmenter's day is done. 7 innings, a run, 6 strikeouts. Matt Stites comes out of the bullpen, and Stites will take over for Arizona.
Yeah, the Marlins saw Stites in the first game of this series. He threw an inning. Hard thrower. Good live fastball. He likes to use a changeup as well. And will certainly give you a different look than what they've seen from Colmenter. There's a changeup. First pitch.
Yelich, Solano, Stanton. And a fastball up. There's a look at the numbers from Stites. His first taste of the big leagues. If you look at Stites' numbers in the minor leagues, it's almost like there's a double take and there's got to be a misprint under walks. This is a guy coming into this season who in 114 games in the minor leagues struck out 150 and walked 19. One of those was intentional, by the way.
He's been a closer at each level that he's pitched. And so far we've seen that live fastball and we've seen the good changeup.
It's 2-2 on Yelich. PARRA hits in this one. Terrific road trip for Yelich. 11 for 27. Little tapper over Stites. Gregorius makes the play. There they are. It's the Marlins watch party, and that's the Marlins front office, and they're all voting for Hits McGee. You can vote for Casey McGee as well. Go to Marlins.com and /final vote. Take you right to the page. Tomorrow, the Twitter vote starts at 10 a.m., where the hashtag Vote Hits McGee on each tweet will count as a vote as well.
Understand that Casey continues to get a little love in Japan, and also from his former team in Milwaukee. The state of Wisconsin is coming in big for Casey McGee.
Well, our projections are, Tommy, that if he's going to advance to the All-Star game, he's got to carry a few more states than Wisconsin, because
except if he carries Japan, I think he'll be okay. But the problem is Justin Morneau is doing a pretty good job in Canada.
That's right. And Minnesota as well. So the Canadian vote and the Minnesota vote, as well as Colorado, are going Morneau's way. Giancarlo Stanton drove in the only run. That was in the 6th inning.
And by the way, the only time all those folks at the watch party were not texting was when they took that photo. They said, okay, you got to hold it for 30 seconds. Let's take a photo.
It looks like they're having a fun day off.
Yeah.
University of Missouri product is Stites. Stand a chopper. DD Gregorius makes the play. That is a 1-2-3 8th inning. And on they go, 1-0. Right now in Arizona, at the bottom of the 8th, MLB.TV Premium, #1 live streaming sports service. 12 years it's been around, millions of subscribers, and if you jump on board, you get a free At Bat 14 subscription. Allows you to watch live baseball on over 400 mobile and connected devices. DD Gregorius, 1 for 2. And Evaldi with a strike at 95 miles an hour. Evaldi has not been overpowering in terms of strikeouts, but he's been efficient. Early contact, ground balls, lots of those.
Nathan Evaldi's career high, Rich, for innings pitched is 8. He worked 8 innings against the Braves earlier this year. He's done it 3 times in his career.
Oh, 2. Gregorius into right. Stanton dives and won't get it, and it's going to roll by him. It goes to the wall. A big gamble by Stanton and a big payoff for the Diamondbacks. In a 1-run game, Giancarlo sold out, and it cost him.
Yeah, you have to make sure, if you're going to gamble this way, that you got to at least knock the ball down, because you know if it gets by, it's 3 bases, and that's exactly what happened. Gregorius hit the ball well, sinking line drive. In Stanton's mind, he thought he could get there. He didn't, and Gregorius ends up at third base.
Stanton played with that left thumb. And here is Ahmed. Miami's going to bring the infield in. You've got speed at third. Ahmed has bounced out and reached on an error. Liner over McGee into left field, and the Diamondbacks, just like that, have tied the ball game. And so it's 1-1.
Ahmed didn't waste much time, and he certainly didn't waste time when he saw that hanging slider up in his eyes, and he ripped it.
Roger Kieschnick is announced as a pinch hitter, and Mike Redmond is on his way out of Miami's dugout. Valdi at 89 pitches. And Redmond's going to go to the bullpen. Mike Dunn's coming in. Nathan Eovaldi exits. And the game has changed. 1-1. Kendall Toyota, and it's Mike Dunn in a 1-1 ball game last night against the Diamondbacks after Brad Hand had a nice start. Hand went 6 1/3, gave up an unearned run. Tag team match. Sam Dyson, Brian Morris, Mike Dunn, and then Steve Cishek.
Yeah, so the Marlins, you look at the bullpen, then you look at the start of Brad Hand, you look at the start of Nathan Eovaldi today, have gotten back-to-back terrific starts. Mike Dunn was the recipient of that 2-run homer from Marcell Ozuna to pick up his 7th win. Mike Dunn leads the Marlins staff, starters and relievers, in wins with 7.
Cody Ross will pitch hit for Roger Kieschnick, who was announced in the pitcher spot. And so the Diamondbacks burn a pair of players here. Ross, who had a frustrating night last night. Fastball misses down low. Ross was 0 for 4 against Mike Dunn. 1 AB, 1 home run. What you want to avoid here is that Cody Ross skip and flip that Marlin fans know so well. Two and 0. Not his first rodeo. And of course, Cody grew up around the rodeo. Wanted to be a rodeo clown. Carlsbad, New Mexico was home. His father, a cowboy. Swing and a miss. Ross 33 now.
It's been a frustrating year for Cody Ross, but he's done a pretty good job in a pinch hit role. 6 for 19 as a pinch hitter.
Ahmed at first. 2-1. The pitch had the corner, and it wasn't up. But a ball, and now a 3-1 pitch to Cody Ross. Into left. A solid shot. And now Arizona's set up first and second, and nobody out.
And is back to the top of their order with a very good bunter, Endar Inciarte.
Marlins Live brought to you by Checkers. After the ball game is coming up. Greg Minervini, Carl Pavano in the studio. Nathan Eovaldi outstanding, but he could get the loss in this ball game. He's responsible for Ahmed out at second in a 1-1 game in the bottom of the 8th. And the pressure, as Tommy alluded to now, on Miami's infield and their defense. If Inciarte is bunting, you've got Peralta and then Goldschmidt to follow.
No time for bobble or for hesitation.
Good bunter with good speed. He is bunting. And Dunn misses. Inciarte, the Venezuelan. Maracaibo. There's the bunt. Dunn has it, looks there, fires the first, and barely.
Boy, you gotta hurry. And it was a bang-bang play. I'm sure Mike Dunn was aware of the speed of Inciarte, but you can't look too long at third. But he took his time. There's the look. You gotta make it a quick one, and then a nice skip and a strong throw to first.
Infield in. And you got David Peralta, who had a big night in game 1, but is 0 for 3 in this one. Dunn gets a strike.
And against the lefty Brad Hand last night, Peralta didn't play. He didn't start.
See his Average with runners in scoring position. He was 0 for 16 to start the season. 4 for his last 6, though, in this spot. Dunn gets strike 2.
Went away, slider, and then he caught the inside corner with a slider.
Infield still in. 0-2 coming. Breaking ball popped him up and playable. And Jones calls and makes the catch, and we'll see if the Marlins walk Goldschmidt to bring Montero up.
I'd bet that gigantic hot dog on that one.
That is a big out to get for Dunn. And yes, Mathis telling everybody that they are going to walk him. You see the highest average against lefties. He eats them alive. So an intentional walk here.
Plus you have the left-handed bat of Montero on deck. Which I'm sure is another reason Goldschmidt has been walked so much.
And not just walked, but I pitched carefully too. Well, we had a pair of guys at the outset of our telecast that we compared, but we were talking more about power and home runs and production. And they're both at the top of the list on intentional walks. The 9th to Goldschmidt. Stanton has 15.
Yeah, they're both similar in on-base percentage and slugging percentage. Goldschmidt is 26 years old and Giancarlo's 24.
And here's the reason you want this matchup. Miguel Montero has struggled against left-handed pitching. 159. But no place to put him. Dunn's got to throw strikes. Bags are loaded. 2 outs. Bouncer towards second. Solano has it. Mike Dunn pitches out of it. And the Diamondbacks leave them loaded. They get a run to tie this game. Marcell Ozuna on his way up. 1-1 into the 9th in Arizona.
Center, deep, and gone! Miami leads it 2-1. Ozuna, a blast off the camera well. My goodness!
Well, that was last night. The Marlins were down 1-0, down to the last strike. In the top of the ninth, Ozuna sending one 438 feet to center field. Here it's 1-1. And into the ninth, Brad Ziegler, the Marlins saw him for an inning last night. Of course, it was Addison Reed, the Diamondbacks closer, that gave up the 2-run shot. Casey McGee leads it off, Garrett Jones, and then Ozuna.
And Brad Ziegler is not an easy assignment for a right-handed hitter. He's got that submarining delivery, got a changeup, he'll throw a slider.
McGee, 2 hits. And way out in front. And it's 0-1. Since 2011, when Ziegler started the year with Oakland, was traded over to Arizona. He has the most appearances by any reliever in baseball. This is 269th. Joel Peralta at 268. They were tied coming into today.
And that last pitch, a perfect pitch.
And he's been really, really good in this role. Wow. I think McGee got a break.
Yeah, I think this pitch was a strike.
Well, had plenty of the plate right at the knees. 2-2 coming. Got him. Slider. 1 out here in the ninth. Ziegler actually spent some time as the closer last year for the Diamondbacks. Had 13 saves, was 13 of 15. The last time his ERA was over 2.5 was 2010.
Keeps the ball down, turns it over, a little sinker, that first pitch to Jones. Threw a good slider to strike out Casey McGee. Has a changeup in his arsenal. Look at his career ERA. In this day and age, the way the game's played, a guy like Ziegler's invaluable.
Well, we saw in St. Louis a guy that has plenty of funk. Pat Neshek, an all-star. Jones, another ground ball to second. And there are 2 outs. Marlins, of course, have Steve Cishek. So Ziegler has made a nice living with a unique delivery and the ability to throw strikes. And here's Ozuna now, who doubled in the 7th. That extends his hit streak to 15 games.
And Brad Ziegler, drafted in the 31st round by Oakland.
Miami's bullpen, Cishek and Morris. Cishek in case Ozuna were to blast another one. Morris, if this is a 1-1 game in the bottom of the inning. Another perfect spot. It's 1-2. Ozuna thought he struck out. He was literally walking to the dugout thinking he was done. And John Tumpain didn't ring him up. That's a reverse embarrassment right there. Ozuna figured, I'm done.
Well, okay, got another chance.
And he makes it official and strikes out. 1, 2, 3 innings. Ziegler nails in the ninth. Is brought to you by South Florida Honda Dealers and sfhondadealers.com, and by UHealth Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider for the Miami Hurricanes and Miami Marlins. We'll get you back in the game. One ball game. Marlins and Diamondbacks. Bottom 9. Brian Morris still has not given up an earned run as a Marlin. 16 games since they got him from Pittsburgh.
Well, he's featured primarily a good live fastball and slider. He's featured some very good control, just 5 walks and 17 strikeouts in his 20-plus innings.
He arrives at the 5 spot in the order. Martin PRADO, GERARDO, PARRA, and DIDI GREGORIUS. PRADO first. Two starters pitched very well in this ball game. Nathan Eovaldi, 7 innings, a run. Josh Comenter, 7 innings, a run. Stites and Ziegler out of the pen for Arizona. Mike Dunn and now Brian Morris for Miami.
Brian Morris not missing by much, but just missing a little bit, and has fallen behind 3-0.
Fastball, base hit. PRADO a green light at 3-0, and he smoked it into left. Here comes PARRA. All of PARRA's at bats against Eovaldi, and all of them ground ball outs. That Padre Rocky game is knotted at 3. Now in the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays and Angels are tied at 6. It's top of the 6th. Those are the only other ball games going right now.
So all tie games that are in progress right now. Tigers beat the Dodgers 4-1.
East Coast games are just about to rock and roll. Yankees at Cleveland, Nationals at Baltimore, Braves at Mets, Cubs at Reds. Morris 0-1.
Kirk Gibson letting Parra swing the bat because a sacrifice would bring Gregorius up. The Marlins would walk him, and Gregorius has been his hottest hitter today.
Gibson in his 5th year. Diamondbacks last year and in 2012 finished at 500, 81-81.
They had high hopes coming into this year. There were actually some who picked the Diamondbacks. But all the injuries that we've talked about the last couple of games have certainly hurt their chances.
Gibson, manager of the year in 2011 when he guided the Diamondbacks into the postseason. They won the West, ran into Milwaukee, and lost in the division series. Outfield shifted to left center. Big gap right center. And Stanton is way off the line and right, favoring that gap. Off the end of the bat, Mathis has it and gets the out, and that's as good as a bunt. Puts the winning run in scoring position, and here comes Gregorius.
But with first base open and the fact that his run doesn't mean anything, you have the right-hander AHMED on deck. This is that ball that Gregorius hit the sinking line drive last time up. An attempt by Giancarlo. He didn't keep the ball in front of him, and Gregorius ended up at third base. He came in to score an RBI base hit.
And obviously in a 1-1 game, that was an enormous play.
So right now, the Marlins aren't going to put him on. I don't think he's going to see a whole lot to hit, though.
Breaking ball for a strike. Well, you would also, with one out, if you walked him, set up a shot at an inning-ending double play. You see what he's done in the last 5 games. As you pointed out, he's been one of the hotter Diamondbacks.
And all of his pinch hitters are right-handers, the ones he has left. So for Gibson, this is his best matchup right here.
AHMED is on deck. And then the pitcher spot. Morris gets the second strike. It's 1-2.
Well, he likes the ball out over the plate. If he can keep crowding him with that slider, he'll be able to have some success.
He's got 2 triples in this series. One-two. Little tapper up the middle. Echeverria behind the bag, just in time to get the out. 90 feet away is the winning run at the bottom of the ninth here in Arizona. That would be Martin Prado.
Good job by Garrett Jones to make that grab and then be aware of what's going on in the infield. The fact that Prado had gone from second to third.
Aaron Hill is on deck. Nick Ahmed, the shortstop, who had an RBI single back in the 8th to tie the game, is back up here with a chance to win the game.
Ahmed hit a hanging slider from Nathan Eovaldi. He was the last hitter Eovaldi would face.
Well, that slider right there didn't hang. And he's out in front of him 0-2. Chance to win it for Arizona. With Prado standing at third. Addison Reed, who gave up the 2-run homer to Ozuna, is getting ready if there is a 10th inning. Morris trying to make that happen. 0-2 coming.
Nice job, Jeff Mathis, calling that slider, knowing that he wanted it in that area to maybe get Ahmed to swing. Then he had to go out and keep it in front of him.
See what he gets, 1-2. Got him. Oh, that one really just ate him alive at 96 with movement under the hands to the 10th. 1-1. Extra innings presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. Downtown Phoenix. It's the 10th. And the Diamondbacks are going to stick with Brad Ziegler, and why not? He was exceptional in the 9th. Kirk Gibson trying to coax another inning out of him. Addison Reed was up. That just in case that 9 spot and Aaron Hill came up. Echeverria bunting and missing, and it's 0-1. Miami got a run in the 6th, held that lead to the bottom of the 8th.
That's the other beauty of a guy such as Ziegler.
Off the glove of PRADO, and Echeverria has a hit, very hard infield here, and that one took a wicked hop up. And Miami with a runner here in the 10th.
Ziegler can generally go out and give you more than one inning. Marlins get a little break. Ball just off the tip of Prado's glove, and Echeverria with his second base hit today.
Ziegler is a ground ball guy, and he gets a lot of double plays. You would think Mathis would be bunting here. Reed Johnson's on deck. He pitches away. There's Reed Johnson. Since 2008, no one has induced more double play grounders out of a bullpen than Ziegler. Ball and a strike. Brett Butler with the signs. And Echeverria over at first. Mathis can move him up. You get an at bat not only for Reed Johnson, but in all likelihood Christian Yelich with a chance to take the lead. He's not easy to hit, and he's not easy to bunt. Mathis sets it down. Ziegler almost got run over by his catcher and gets the out.
Have to kind of chuckle. We do know that Ziegler can come over the top, because after he fielded that bunt, he threw to first base from a kind of a normal delivery. But a great job by Jeff Mathis. Beautiful bunt.
Well, here's the matchup that Miami has. Reed Johnson, who has been a terrific pinch hitter this year, and he pinch hits here. We've seen him as a starter and as a pinch hitter, and as a pinch hitter he's much more likely to go after something early in the count. Takes that breaking ball out. Nine pinch hit RBIs. Gets a fastball for a strike. 314 average. And 35 pinch hit at bats, including a home run. See, John Mayberry of the Phillies has overtaken him for the RBI lead. One.
I think he got what he was looking for. He had a rip. He just swung through it. The bottom fell out of that slider.
A swing and a miss. Echeverria started towards second, or started towards third, off of second, and Johnson kind of a hesitation swing. Kirk Gibson is trotting out to the mound, and this may be, do you want to tangle with Yelich? You want to tangle with Solano?
That's probably what the conversation's about. He's going to get Montero's input. He does have success against lefties because of that changeup, but we have also seen how tough he is against right-handers.
So Yelich, who is 2 for 4. Cishek is ready. Sam Dyson in that bullpen as well. Let's see if they walk him or pitch to him. And it may be that they pitch carefully to him. Solano's on deck. Echeverria out at second. A 1-1 game in the 10th in the desert. First pitch well down and well in. That pitch dips low. Since coming off the DL, Yelich over 360. You see the 7-game hit streak he's on right now, and they're just going to make it official and walk him intentionally. So it puts the spotlight on Donovan Solano, who extended his hit streak to 6 games with a line drive single to center in the 6th.
In order to have a good approach against Ziegler as a right-handed hitter, guys have to try to stay back and think that slider, make him try to jam you with his fastball. Solano usually does a pretty good job at that. So let's see what kind of an AB he has.
Good speed with Echeverria at second. Yelich the trail runner at first. A lot of Solano's big hits have come to right field, and remember, out in right field you've got Gerardo Parra. So a play at the plate. You got a good arm, Gold Glover. Solano pulls it into the corner, and that's going to be extra bases. Echeverria scores. Here comes Yelich. Ball's rolling around. Donovan Solano, a 2-run double.
Get the boss hat ready for Solano. He's thinking breaking ball. When you think maybe right center and you get a hanger on the inner part of the plate, you react, and Solano reacted and drilled it. Pitch kind of just flattened out, middle of the plate. Talked about the road trip that Solano's had. He had a couple of 3-hit games in St. Louis. That's his 2nd hit here today.
Here is Stanton now. And he takes a strike. So a 3-1 ball game in the 10th. Stanton's sacrifice fly gave Miami their first run in the 6th. He fouls this one off. Diamondbacks will have 9-1-2 scheduled, bottom 10. Solano, a reserve infielder who, when he's had his opportunity, has really shined in the last month. Inside to Stanton. And he really enjoyed those 3-hit ball games in St. Louis, the organization that he came up in but never was able to get to the big leagues with. Stanton swings and misses. Well, Miami strikes for 2 against Brad Ziegler. And Steve Cishek will try to shut the door. Donovan Solano, the pride of Colombia. And to the bottom of the 10th in Phoenix. 3-1 Marlins. with a 2-run double. Diamondbacks intentionally walk Christian Yelich to get to Solano, and Solano makes it 3-1 and brings Steve Cishek out of the bullpen. The Marlins a chance to win this series now. Cishek, who closed last night's ball game. It was 1-2-3 fashion, but it did have some drama at the end. He fell behind Paul Goldschmidt, who then hit one to the warning track and right.
If he goes 1-2-3, he'll avoid Paul Goldschmidt. But if the Diamondbacks get a runner on, Goldschmidt will hit.
Aaron Hill, who has some pop. First out of the chute, and then you have Inciarte and Peralta. Cishek throws strike one. Think about what Steve Cishek's been able to accomplish as a big leaguer, and I will never forget, and he will never forget, the undressing he got from Jack McKeon in his rookie season.
It was a great teaching moment on the mound.
Cishek was on the mound, and McKeon felt like he was out there trying to finesse, trying to trick him. Here's the 2-1. It was against the Texas Rangers. He had given up a home run to Josh Hamilton, and look what's happened since. He's been a terrific closer for Miami. McKeon went out and got into him right on the mound, right in front of everybody. Here's the 2-2. And since that point, Cishek has said his approach is a lot more aggressive. There aren't many managers left in the game like that, are there?
Unfortunately, no.
Here's the 2-2. And it's out. Allison Williams suggesting Buck Showalter, and he has the gravitas and the cachet to do that. Maybe even Kirk Gibson here in terms of his personality.
I think if Kirk Gibson just stared at you, you know from where he was coming.
3-2. Talking release points right now. Hill really is making Cishek work here, fighting off a number of 3-2 pitches. Another 3-2. Bouncer into right. And Arizona has life. Aaron Hill, a pinch hit single.
Pretty good at bat from the veteran Aaron Hill.
And here is Inciarte. Well, as you pointed out, a 1-2-3 inning ensures no Goldschmidt. With a base hit by Hill, you got Inciarte, David Peralta, and then Goldschmidt against Cishek.
Cishek right now struggling.
One of the differences when he came into the ballgame last night, sharper with his control. Remember we talked about the backdoor slider was there. The fastball was down. It was on the corners. And so far struggling with that a little bit here today.
Well, the Marlins bullpen right now, Kevin Gregg is up.
And that's out.
And I think the reason Kevin Gregg is up is because they see that and sense that in the dugout.
And he lost him. And just like that, the Diamondbacks have the tying runs aboard with nobody out. And you got some bats coming up that can do some damage. Chuck Hernandez is on his way out. Peralta, Goldschmidt, and then Montero. Single to Hill. And a walk to Inciarte. You certainly have to tip your cap to Hill, who fought off a number of two-strike pitches to get the inning in motion. Well, the trip by Hernandez does two things. It, in the Marlins' mind, hopes that they settle down Cishek. As well, it gives Gregg a few extra minutes to get loose if that's the direction this inning takes him. Here's Peralta. And Cishek misses in. That's a slider that normally is automatic against lefties.
Yeah, so many times we see him do that. He'll just drop that first pitch slider, low backdoor slider, and take strike one. He's all over the place right now.
The Diamondbacks can win this game with a swing of the bat. Bouncer into center field. It's a base hit. Ozuna charging up with the ball. Runner headed to third. And it's a one-run game. There's nobody out at the corners. Big hit for Peralta. And here comes Goldschmidt.
Not a bad pitch. Cishek got the ground ball, but Peralta was able to find the hole up the middle. Hill able to score. More importantly, the tying run's 90 feet away.
And the Marlins will let that run score if they get a ground ball. Goldschmidt, liner in the gap, into left. Peralta racing for third, and Arizona's gonna win it. Paul Goldschmidt ends it. A walk-off double.
Boy, for Paul Goldschmidt, his 35th double as well.
And for Steve Cishek, that ended in a real hurry.
What a deflating loss. After taking the lead and getting on such a high with the Donovan Solano 2 RBI double, taking a 2-run lead and then losing it quickly. Wow.
A hanging slider, and Goldschmidt punished it. And remember, the Marlins had a 1-0 lead that they lost in the bottom of the 8th.
And remember when Goldschmidt was in the dugout talking to Kirk Gibson about the release point with Cishek? I'd say they have it figured out.
And so the Diamondbacks take the series. And we'll wrap it up from Phoenix. In 10, Arizona wins it.